All right. G'day, everybody. This is your boy Critmeth, the man of 100 voices, the man who does, the VTuber who forgets his intro every single time and has it way too short, so he has no idea what to say afterwards. G'day, welcome. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the middle of the week. Welcome to the wonderful Wednesday of Wishtastic. Why am I, what? W. G'day, everybody. I hope everybody's middle of the week is doing okay. We're playing the Stanley Parable. I didn't forget about this game. Apparently, it doesn't save your progress because I booted it up and it instantly asked, what time is it right now? And then now it's here. So I didn't go any further than this. I couldn't remember what it was going to do. Before we get started, can I just say something? Go right ahead. Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the... It knows. It knows. You're welcome. A lot of people don't take the steps seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. Aww. It knows I set the time accurately, because I did. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. Does this have anything to do with the game, or is it just... That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Oh my god, the game's talking to me. I don't know if I can handle this parasocial gaming experience. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. No, I'm going to set it to the actual time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. All right, I'll let you get back to the video game now. What a homie. I'm not going to lie, I thought I had to play this game, or I got to play this game with a controller. Right, now I remember. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Anybody who's in chat, well, obviously it has to be somebody who's currently in chat. Let me know how the sound is, because this is going to be the first time that we're actually going to leave the BGM going. And I know I've been messing around with the BGM a lot, between all of the making sure all the powers that be know I have the right to play this music. I have the license, I have the, it's royalty free. I don't need to get hit by copyrights on it. Everything's fine. But also I've been playing with the volumes because I've been switching the music so much that, different volumes and different levels have had, let's just say, different effects on people's ears. Between having to unplug bleeding and mostly just those two. Sorry, taking a drink. Everybody else follow suit. Drink. Sometimes you just need a big old sigh to just recuperate yourself, and that's what I needed right there. And I completely lost my train of thought. That's disappointing. I felt like I was on something before I took a quick drink. Let's see, I was talking about something. Who cares? Stanley Parable, yeah, resetting, everything, fun. Right, music. Let me know how the volume is. I think it's at a good level right now, but please tell me if I'm wrong. Anyways, let's hop in. Let's begin the game. I remember we played this a decent amount quite a while ago, so I can't remember exactly which endings and directions and choices we've done already, so if I repeat a few, I apologize. But it's been long enough. Who cares? Is never the end. Never the end is. The end is ever.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Let's watch this once. Just to,
Stanley
give ourselves a
company
flashback.
in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
That's how microchips work.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. something that would forever change Stanley.
We took
Something he
control.
would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh, I just got an achievement called Welcome Back, called Quit the Game and then Started It Again. So clearly this is only the second time I played it. You can even call me on my bluffs. All right, buttons. All right, so it's move around. We don't have a jump.
All of his co-workers.
This is the
had gone.
clicky.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
Click
a
that
memo.
off.
No matter how hard Stanley
Okay, I'm trying to
looked,
remember.
he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
All right, we can close the doors here. Turn off everything because that's who we are. We are Captain Turnoff. Reminds me of a nickname I had back in college. Oh ho ho! Ha 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 ha! Yeah, we're gonna get some mileage out of the buttons today. All right, so you know what? I'm gonna go back in this room for a quick second. And we're going to talk through the thought before going through the door. I was going to use the sentence, so we kind of remember a few of the paths that we took. Like, I do remember it was down the hall, take a right, given the option of go left, go right, and the narrator says, please go left. And we went right every single time and followed a bunch of paths there. So we haven't explored left yet. Now, that is what I was going to say until we turned the corner and saw the bright neon sign that says new content. We're gonna go down there. I just want to see what happens if we ignore it for a few seconds. Yes, here's the make your choice.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Exciting? Exciting? You have something exciting? How's the timing on that? Did I get that down really well? It looks like I'm doing it pretty well. But I'm actually closing my eyes, so I can't tell. Can I excitingly go this way? I want to excitingly go this way. Okay, let's see what he has to show us. I feel like I was able to play this with a controller last time. I didn't feel like I could do this last time. Sorry, everybody. Let me quick plug in my controller and see if that works. It does not. Oh well. New content! It's dark. Oh, it's a loading screen. Let's pick up right as it loads. New content! Wait, why does it sound familiar? I mean, I guess that does say new content. Or technically, if we read it right now, it says, when to neck to nach. I'll push the button when I'm actually being funny. One of these days, I will earn this sound effect from you. There might be one time I get this from one of you. That's not going to happen. And I hope I never get from any of you, because that's my job. Yeah, I'm sorry. My jokes are bad.
You see, Stanley,
Uh-huh.
I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable.
Yes,
and
yes.
about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to
What?
be. The
You're too
original
hard on
Stanley
yourself.
Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense.
Ah!
I say we take it one
What?
step even further.
What happened?
Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Yeah. I'm turning the background music back on.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than
Dva, two, three, two, the-
Ultra Deluxe. What does it even
Bet,
mean?
duet, dort,
But the
zwei,
Stanley
du, das,
Parable
vo.
2. Now that's an artistic statement. Right
So that's a
there.
bunch of
It's
languages saying too,
future-oriented.
and the only one
It
that I
screams
actually
progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
I was talking, Mr. Narrator. I only know the words two and zwei. And I'm going to tell everybody a quick story here because the word zwei, I might be one of the few people in the world who has a story about the word zwei. So, I used to be a professional Yu-Gi-Oh player. Yeah. So, during my times in the professional Yu-Gi-Oh scene, back in the day, a certain card was released in the Cyber Dragon archetype. For anyone who doesn't know Yu-Gi-Oh, just mute me and listen to the music, or go turn on music for like the next 2 minutes or so. This might take a while. For any of you that do know Yu-Gi-Oh, Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon's a great card. But in the archetype, they released a card called Cyber Dragon, this word, Cyber Dragon Spy, because they didn't want to say Cyber Dragon 2. As a person who was currently taking German classes and knew how to pronounce the word spy, I really like the name. I'm like, hey, that's kind of cool. It's a different take than just calling it Cyber Dragon 2 or Cyber Dragon, something that people probably would have understood better, Cyber Dragon Dose. But they said Cyber Dragon Spy. And I don't know why I took it personally. When everybody who I ran into was like, hey, do you happen to have a Cyber Dragon Zui? I don't know why, but for some reason, hearing Cyber Dragon Zui just made me so mad. These uncultured, un-Germanic-speaking swine talking about a second Cyber Dragon, and they're like, it's a Cyber Dragon Zui! That's the entire story. So whenever I see Spy, I always think about like, Yu-Gi-Oh players are dumb. Or uncultured, or just don't speak German. Because to be fair, I would probably mispronounce, I'm assuming that's the French one there, the du, du, yeah, du. The amount of people who would see that and be like, yeah, what's a Deluxe? Or I don't even know how to pronounce the red Russian one because I don't know what that first letter is. Or dua, or du, or tv. I'm gonna guess that's Swedish, but I'm uncultured and I don't know what I'm talking about. Taste the sequel! It's not gonna let me taste the sequel. Oh, there's a duck button. All right, what's in here? It's instead of a painting, they just open a picture on Windows 10. That's funny. That's actually really funny. And they do it again. God damn it. Ah. Look at the office. It's open, so people can just walk in. My sister has one of these. She stores shoes in it. Oh, yeah, I guess I've never actually talked about it. Yes, I have a sister. Let's just call her Princess. They're back. 2 doors. Oh, wait, I remember the 2 doors. Number 1, more TISP. Oh, the Stanley Parable. 2, better the Stanley Parable. Win, win, sequential mind share. 1 and 2, a paradigm shift, synergy, brick and mortar approach. Okay, these are all just business terms that are just trigger words. Envelope client-centric marketing. The color red. The color red. Leverage. Excuse me. Holistic values. I wanted to pronounce it holistic. 1 to 2. This is the funniest whiteboard I have seen in a long while. 2 halves of a brain. 2 plants. 2 coffee cups. 1 phone. Garbage. Get that out of my sight. Oh, look at the slideshow. We have the Stanley Parable 2. The Stanley Parable II. 2. The Stanley Parable. The Stanley Parable 2. The Stanley Parable 2. Thanks for attending my meeting. You 2 Stanleys. Notice how there's only 1 computer, though. What's this Stanley doing?
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
It's a 5-minute break. So we have a scrum, a design pitch. We take a 5-minute break, and then we pitch the design, and then a number 2 chat. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 arms, 2 legs. That's all you need. Who took the red marker? Me. I don't know what 427 is. I feel like something else was behind me before. Oh, right. No, I was looking at the end is never the end. Again! Wait, I can do this in actual voice. This summer, the end is never the end. Again. God, I love voice acting. I was actually in a stream earlier today, and a question came up about voice acting. And it took everything in my fiber not to pitch my own channel saying, hey, I did some voice acting for this situation. Not much. Somebody was playing Dave the Diver and asked, what would Dave sound like if he was voice acted? And I very much had to resist the urge to pitch my channel saying, hey, go check out me. I voice acted it. I think I did a good job for Dave. Look at all the new features and it's a new content bus at the Geoma City, man. Walking the red carpet. Boom. Yeah. Show him the back, and then you flick the head. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom. Wait, I can do better than that. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Boom. Fuck. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Yeah. Sass him. All right, we walk around, 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 and up we go, and up we go, and number 2, and number 2. Ah. Hey, who's that?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new...
No, I'm locked in. I want out. I want to go back. All right. Let's try out some of the new features. Like the merchandise? This t-shirt is the new best new feature. You know, I think this t-shirt is the best new feature, but I kind of like this t-shirt is the new best new feature. This t-shirt is the best new feature. Two. Brains. I saw the new content. I actually really like that shirt. I would wear a shirt like that. Office decorations, the Stanley Parable reassurance bucket, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Why do I want to go into that room so bad? Why do I want to dox myself in the worst way? Here, your name in the game. That shouldn't be tempting me as much as it is. Infinite hole, a jump circle? New features, new content, new ideas. The new, updated, ray-traced, more of the same, but in a good way sequel to the... Oh. Consistent quality with just the right amount of change. The baby is all grown up. Red is the new orange. What the fuck? A whole new office. Please, no screenshots. Click, click, click. Why was I getting that weird sound? My headphone... I should have checked. I was hearing some clicky in my headphones, and I wonder if it was actually in the game or if it was just me. I think it was just me. What's through here? The Stanley Parable 2 reassurance bucket!
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold onto the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they?
Get rid of the bucket.
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
He's not letting me let go of the bucket. Ah! I got caught. What's this? Bucket. Oh well, we have a bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Happy 12th birthday. Oh.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
Oh my God, the Get Well Sunday. Sunday? Get Well Someday.
Maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on. Come now. You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Why'd you flip the paintings around? Infinite hole? Let's push the button that says the name of the player that is playing this game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually
just
right and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button, which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
So it should say Stanley.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here. Let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
Yeah,
just play along.
role-play.
Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
I am Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim.
Yes.
Falling in love and being
I live as Jim. I live at the gym.
Seizing all
Jim at the
the
gym.
world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim, watching your dreams crumble into dust.
I am Jim, Jungle. You can call me Jungle Jim.
Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button. Jim. Yes!
It said my name!
What a thrill! What a rush! It was you! Jim.
How does it know? How does it know my name's Jim? I've been doxxed. Okay, that's it. I gotta retire. I need to retire, everybody. Everybody now knows my name is Jim.
From the Jim button.
Okay.
I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away.
What? No.
Soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are. Jim.
I was hoping I could push that button. Are you gonna let me go underneath to go, press the Jim button more? Of course you're not.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That
would
actually
work.
save me the work of finishing this feature.
Spinning collectibles and exit. Free, new and easy achievement. It just works. Infinite hole? The jump circle?
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Oh.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
I thought he was going to give me more jumps. Oh, I can get up there? Nifikabu zihipishkwa 3 nanke. Jump circle this map. You are here. Epilogue. That must be what that is. B, the button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Yeah, that's over there. Oh, wait. Maybe the epilogue can be reached through that? Oh, no, that was looking at this. That's the epilogue. Doesn't look like we have any way of getting up there. Wait, I lied. We do. We're going to visit that place last. Even though there's also a giant exit sign, right? That one. Is there just an exit? There is. There's just an exit. A9 is collectibles. Uh-huh. So the exit is that way. So there's nothing behind here. We're definitely going to watch the epilogue before the exit. Q, free achievement in that corner. N, jump circle. Okay, we already went to the jump circle. 3, and number sign. Number sign, settings world champion. We missed that. 3 is office decorations. We did see that. There's a settings world champion, though? Hold on. That what's up there through the epilogue? Let's pop out the other side. Ooh, something to explore. Oh, there's just stairs here. The Settings World Championship? Wait, is this just what the epilogue does?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Let's go to the Settings World Champion. You can play with a controller. I don't know how to get to the Settings World Champion. All right, let us get a free achievement. Free achievement. Get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works. Get yours now. This looks
Here's something special.
Sketchy.
You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident?
Yeah.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Get me the achievement.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Right? Let us go check the map. Let's see what we haven't seen. So jump circle, yes. The map, yeah. Free achievement. The button that says gym. Merch. We checked out merch. We couldn't interact with it. Settings World Champion. We weren't allowed in there. Are you okay, Rowan? Take my off. Rowan's just sitting down by my feet. Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. Yep, we for sure got that one. What was B again? Button, right. Bucket. Office decorations, we checked it out. Epilogue, we kind of walked past that one. We'll check that out later. A9 is collectibles. Yeah, we haven't done that yet. And K, the infinite hole, we kind of skipped that. We will go check that out after collectibles. Can you find them? 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 Collect them all.
Collectibles.
Oh.
Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Excellent. Let's keep walking, let's keep walking, let's keep walking, and collect. Oh no. We got one! Uh-oh.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Let's see if we can find them. I don't think we can. And by we, I mean me. I don't think me can. I probably should have gone there very first. Because now I gotta go check out every place again looking for a collectible. Got an itchy eyeball too. There we go. Oh, that's what it looks like. Let's see, where would they hide them? In obvious places or unso obvious places? Would they hide them in places we've been? Would they put them on a bench or sitting up? I don't know how to rhyme with bend. Also, what the heck is this? You know, it would be actually a big dick move for the game to have said 1 out of 6, but then there was actually only 1 to collect, making me run around trying to find the remaining 5 just to let me know that they don't exist. Or, I don't know if I would think this would be worse. They put all 5 in the exact same spot. Oh, that's the exit. We don't want to take the exit. Is it my screen that's tearing? I think so. I have a line going across my screen right now. I think is just my monitor. Which, that isn't good. Hold on, I'm going to try to line it up with the white thing so I can see it. Yes. Because I'm checking in OBS right now. It doesn't look like it's coming through, which probably means, yes, it is my monitor. Sorry for staring at the ground. Well, that's unfortunate. I like this monitor, but it definitely looks like it's starting to feel its age. Well then, I might have to be switching to a new monitor soon. That would be unfortunate. But in the meantime, I can't push the screen button. Oh, is it getting worse? I think it's getting worse. Uh-oh. It's very much getting worse. And it is definitely the monitor. Well, that's gonna be fun to deal with. That's not how I wanted to enjoy this Wednesday. Anyways, if we come across them, we do. The big hole, right? Infinite hole. That's what we haven't discovered yet. Also, what's this? Ah, right. That is the extra spot. I'm still being so distracted by my monitor right now, just glitching out. Hole entrance, infinity. Infinite hole chart. We have a hole that has some depth and space that leads you to more holes. Some science happens. You hit infinity and then you fall for more. Educational use only. It just keeps going. There's just no end. It's an infinite hole. See the opening, there's a rim, there's some surrounding area, and then infinite depth. Yes, makes complete sense.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I can't go underneath. I can't go around. They dropped the roof. I mean, we're going in the hole. Infinite hole!
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
And now we're infinite.
Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back.
That's
to
actually
the
getting
top.
smaller, isn't it?
Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
It reset the sound. Yep.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole.
What do you mean?
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is.
It is.
Infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
What's this?
From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
I tried to push G.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
This is
Why
true.
don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you,
It does.
then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on.
Sounds
I'll
good.
just be up here when you're ready.
What happens if I just wait? What if I like my hole? Wait, that sounds weird.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
What if we go back in?
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
Wait,
Not normal.
Phrasing.
Normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
It
I
did.
couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole. I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough?
Yep.
I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
What's over here? Not a Nix 9. It feels so good to have this background music back. All right, we explored the infinite hole. My monitor is still bugging out. Man, I went through so much time and like money investment to get a monitor stand meant for this monitor. I don't want to get a new one. Maybe I can find an inexpensive one. All right, mostly infinite hole. So can I walk back into the collectibles? Like, is there another one in here? No, there's a wall right here. And a stark line where the light stops. All right, I believe we've discovered everything other than the epilogue and the exit. Let's head there now. What an enjoyable little sequel. This was already well worth the second stream. Epilogue. Epilogue. That was disheartening. Let us go to the settings world champion. Apparently, we are not the world champion of settings. Let's just head to the exit. We've explored everything. Ooh, except if I was to hide collectibles, I would do it in the merch shop. But I'm not the one who wrote the game, so clearly that is not where you hide them. All right, let's go to the exit. A nice, enjoyable sequel. Oh, is that an infinite hole? Why are your stairs not shaded correctly? One's too light, one's too dark. Or is that my monitor again? Nope. I now have to question everything. Maybe it's just my monitor bugging out.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
I have.
Ready to move on now?
I am. Oh, my monitor is not happy. Which makes me not happy. Good lord. Oh, 427. That's now I get it. I'm number 427. Please, no screenshots.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul.
I enjoyed it.
It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment.
Okay.
I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Stanley Parable 2.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is...
It has the
much
collectibles.
better. I feel good about this. Here we go, version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course.
Of course.
With respect.
Yes,
with
with
care
respect.
for the vision and integrity of the original game.
Yes, vision integrity. Yes.
I suppose it could, but it would
Taking a
need
drink.
a
Everybody follow?
really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh. Look at this. We're playing the sequel, baby. Let's just see if this is an infinite corridor. I don't know why I wanted to say that phrase in Australian. Let's just see if this is an infinite corridor. Let's just say. What's behind the door? It's unwinding. I'm not Australian. I don't have an Australian accent. I can't pull one off. So, I apologize. But this is fucking beautiful. I love the music subtly behind my BGM. Ah, this is where the reset point should be. As it opens the door. Let's begin the game. Is that the reset?
This?
Yes. We have successfully.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
I
mean?
wonder if my monitor is
Stanley
just
decided
not
to go
happy
to the
with
meeting
the
room.
fact that I
Perhaps he
cleaned
had
it
simply missed a
recently.
memo.
Yeah, I think it's just not happy that I cleaned it. Oh well. Gonna be looking for new
No matter
monitors.
how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Get well someday. Wait. Yeah. Wait. When did they put a thing there? This was never blocked off before.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it?
Oh, the bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
I completely missed the bucket. That's why it blocked it off, because it made us walk by it, but I completely ignored it. All right, new content door is now locked.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him. telling him that the
What the
employee
hell?
lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Well, no, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the
I
door
want
on
to take
his
a
left
left.
to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
What's over here? Nothing. Oh, it's so bright.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Broom closet
Stanley,
ending. I remember we did
you
that.
feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
No!
You can feel coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Uh-huh. The executive bathroom.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley
Oh, no,
figurines.
they're
Remember,
everywhere.
no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful
My microphone. Sorry to treat that as noise. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Oh, I can go back downstairs. I think my monitor is starting to go back to normal. And nope, I still see a cutting line.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the
Thank you,
dark
bucket.
clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him, always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk.
What do you mean? I just pushed
Nor
it.
his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the pin number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Yes, I
Was
did.
it the bucket knew all along? Was
What's
the
happening?
bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Huh. Oh.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
Yeah.
Stanley figs. Or what about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that.
I like it
Another
too.
Stanlerine under your belt.
Wonderful. So we're going to walk into the darkness and push a button. This game is so fun.
The elevator raced downward,
Yes.
plummeting towards an unknown fate.
Uh-huh, yes.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if
Sure.
not for the bucket.
But we have Bucket.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything
Thank you,
will be
Bucket
fine.
John. No. That felt terrible. I apologize to everybody. El Bucketito.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
So we turn around.
But of course, Stanley and the bucket thought better of it and realized they simply had too much. Nope, it's death. Stanley and the bucket.
Is this one of them
The door
infinite
behind them
passageways?
was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Yep. I mean, we don't have to. The floor opening up gave me a nope vibe. All right, so you can completely return. Yeah, I don't want to go to the mind control facility. I'd rather find unpleasant death. Because you know what mind control devices would do to you? It would tell you that the escape is unpleasant death, and it would tell you to not listen to the crudely drawn escape message telling you your salvation is really through the red portal hole that opened in the floor. So we're gonna go through the red portal floor. When has red light ever steered us wrong? That's not good. Huh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator,
What?
as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end as it was crushed violently to death.
Oh, they're just boxes.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket.
What?
It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious...
Where'd my bucket go?
to
Ah!
behold.
Oh, it's so bright! Oh! Oh, why? Why? The bucket welcomes you to the grand exhibit. You are standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty within a cavernous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and sustained. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change... Will you change the lives of yourselves? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were, in ignorance and darkness? I mean, if I can turn dark mode back on...
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for
25
his own?
buckets.
Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble
What?
than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
25 buckets. A photograph of 25 buckets, the greatest number of buckets ever captured on camera. The photographer experienced catatonic shock for several weeks as a result of the euphoria from exposure to this many buckets at once. Yes, 25 buckets. You know, I'm not going to expose you guys because, you know, that is way too much pleasurable buckets. There are way too many buckets there, and I don't want to put you guys into catastrophic shock. A bucket with 2 handles? This bucket is depicted as having 2 handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Oh, the danger design. Is this an original? Inferno bucket, a replica of the Inferno bucket. Which in the medieval era was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died. And yet, in spite of it all, the simple fact remains: no one can control a bucket. The stress bucket, an analogy. Worrying, negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance. Vulnerability equals size and strength of the bucket. Coping strategies equals holes. Rest and relaxation, doing something you enjoy. Rest and relaxation. Stress is the level of water in the bucket. The stress bucket, presented without commentary. As I completely commented all over it. Yep, without commentary. Cave paintings depicting the original bucket. Look, it fed the animals. There was a crack in the wall, but a bucket saved us. Or I can actually read the real story. While we know that buckets predate the existence of mankind. Sorry, that one got me. All of this and that sentence is where I crack. We know that buckets predate the existence of mankind. We do not know by how long. This cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Are they chanting?
No man can own a bucket. And certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one.
True.
It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The bucket prevails. The hanging bucket. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between bucket and humanity. However, clearer our grasp of the bucket may be, there is not yet more that is always out of reach. There is yet more, not yet words. This distant inevitability is for our own good. Bucket! Wait. What am I walking on? Oh, I get it. It's so that I will always fall in the hole. Ah! What happened?
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong.
What's that?
Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine.
I'm sorry, what?
Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket.
Yeah.
Save the world's buckets from their
Hey,
tools and implements.
No. Let Stanley live. Stanley live. No. So So anyways...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Fuck you, Bucket. Or... You know what we haven't done?
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
We haven't gone left with the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
How? How in-depth is this game? Trust the completionist instinct. We have to synergize our resources. There are many questions. Stop changing! How can you tell you spotted one? What makes them float in the air? Who took these pictures?
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines. And now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies.
I like
What do you think,
Figlies.
Stanley?
Figlies.
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness
Figly.
that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one?
Figlies.
Let me sit on it. I'm
Figlies.
sure it will come to me.
Figlies. Stanlerines sounds like a majestic meal you order in Italy, where a figly sounds like something you do on a Saturday night with someone very special.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his
Nobody
boss,
clipped
admitting
that.
He had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had
Wait,
vanished.
I remember
His
this.
boss would think he was crazy. And then
This
something occurred to Stanley.
is the infinite hallway.
He thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He
Am I
asked the
crazy?
bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance
Crazy?
and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these.
I was crazy
He
once.
held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket.
What?
It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this.
Where's
Who
my
knows
bucket?
What sorts of bizarre
Who took my bucket?
hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence
My
of his
bucket?
Indeed.
Bucket?
Now he noticed the rooms were repeating, which was,
What?
of course, very odd.
Yeah, wait, are the rooms
He felt
repeating?
himself floating off the ground.
Which one of these rooms did I lose my bucket in?
He exclaimed,
Wait, why are they getting
"Without
smaller?
My bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it.
Yes,
Far off in the
bucket!
distance now, he heard it calling to him. Stanley, Stanley, it's
Bucket!
me.
Bucket, where are you? But
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his.
no,
None
those
of
aren't
them
my
were his
bucket.
special
How
bucket.
dare you? Where's my special bucket?
Find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend.
Bucket?
It was the only way to truly restore his sanity.
Bucket?
And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along.
What?
It was
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Stanley doubled over in agony
Wait,
and blacked.
where's my bucket? Oh, what? How'd the bucket get up there?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Okay.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Uh-huh.
She
Oh,
arose,
sorry,
got
Rowan.
dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket.
That is accurate.
Of course, he'd gone mad. ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game.
You know what?
It could all have been prevented if
We're gonna take my
only
tie
he'd
off.
taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize
Why
he'd
not, right?
forgotten his bucket at home in the first place.
This is a nice casual
How
situation.
cruel the world can be, Mariella thought.
I'm trying to
She
remember what all
hugged
my
her own
buttons do.
bucket
What's this one do?
even tighter.
Oh!
Of course, she had
I shouldn't
no
push that
time for
button too
this.
often.
There were
Does
a
this one do
myriad of
anything?
confusing problems she
I'm
would
scared to
soon
push
have
this
to
one.
confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
What the fuck? That was perfectly timed with the background music. Alright. So bucket left
All of
equals
his
death.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Come here,
the
bucket.
confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was
Nope.
not the correct way to the meeting room. But
Correct.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him.
The bucket
telling him
is.
that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Not wrong.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was
Maybe.
It, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Let's just keep going.
Stanley took the door on his left.
Sure.
He got back to- and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Nope. We're going down. We took the opposite door. It killed us.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
What the fuck?
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well.
Raw assets, the only map.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket.
No.
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer. I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No. Where's the off button?
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see,
Uh-oh.
if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom
bucket?
closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry
No.
up.
Ah! Flashbang, why? Why so bright? Why always white?
Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend.
Moment of
For
silence.
the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Come here, Bucket.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Let's
Stanley clutched
see
the bucket tightly to his
if we
chest.
can
This was
find
not
where those
directly
other
to the meeting
two
room.
collectibles
Stanley
are.
had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
So
Stanley took the door on his
let's
left
destroy the
to
bucket
go
now.
back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door. Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually.
Yep.
You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley.
Okay.
We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere.
Uh-huh.
The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's
You were
just
right.
sequel content. We're the ones that matter, Stanley. Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes,
Sure.
yes, that's what the fans want. Let's
Right
do
to
it.
the bucket destroyer. Let's go.
Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh,
It cut me
and
off, didn't
played
it?
some silly music as well.
Wee, 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 wee.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also,
Yeah.
Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up. Don't you get it, Stanley?
Uh-huh.
We need to get rid of the bucket.
Uh-huh.
That's why
Speed
I'm
running.
very proud to introduce a brand new
I'm
character.
doing bucket destroy
This
percent. Speed
is
run.
the
Open the door.
Bucket
Open the door. Open the door.
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you
Let me give the
agree?
bucket. Let me give the 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 bucket.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Goodbye, bucket.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't
It's
destroy
not letting me
your
give the bucket.
Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable
Can I not
characters?
give it the
Well,
bucket?
you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom
Bucket.
closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We
I'm
can't get
trying to
back
give it the
classic
bucket.
Stanley Parable characters.
Give the
Adventure
bucket.
Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket.
Wait,
Quickly
give
now.
bucket, give
The
bucket,
fans
give
are
bucket,
waiting.
give bucket,
Do it,
give
the
bucket, give
fans,
bucket.
Stanley, give the fans what
Give
they
bucket,
want.
wait.
Hurry and
Did the screen go white again? I'm scared to look. Did the screen go white again?
My prized creation. You had so much potential.
Screen
We were
went
going
white
to do
again.
such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend.
Goodbye.
The moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
You were magnificent. Wait, is my mic quiet? No. I was just speaking quietly. Okay. I was scared for a moment. I'm a little on the quiet side. I still have my like peaks and but there are moments when I'm starting to get a little bit on the quieter tone. So let's give myself one more notch of volume. There we go.
All of his co-workers were gone.
All right, so there was nothing I could do there.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone.
That is
Not with
accurate.
the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
You are correct.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that
Da-da-da-da.
the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Never mind.
Oh, that's right. We never actually went to the real mind
Stanley
control,
took the door
did
on
we?
his left to go back to the, and so the two of them
Let's go check that out.
through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Could there have been a collectible over here? There could have been, but there isn't. Sorry for the face. Rowan is currently sleeping on my foot, and he has his elbow.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yes. What did I do to get to the mind control area?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any
What was it again? 2,
Crushed
4,
by the weight
8,
of this
5?
revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
2, 5,
Even now,
4,
in his darkest
8?
of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark
4,
clouds of confusion
2,
and chaos.
8, 5?
It would be with him
Nope.
always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in
Shanti.
the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Did I try that?
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
All right. Oh, this is how to get to the mind control area. Well, we have a half hour to go find those remaining two, thingamawhat's-it.
Stanley and the bucket
Biggies.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Uh-huh. Where'd my bucket go? There's my bucket.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both...
Hey, can I
wondered to
borrow one of
themselves.
these for a new monitor? Whoa, where'd this come from?
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly
104
dropped
got
the bucket in
fired.
shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Everything's okay. Wait, where's us? Hold on. 427. This employee is us. Hey, that is our office. So who's been fired? 104, 601. Aren't those the two same things? 258 and 290?
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well?
What?
Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
What?
Kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place?
What?
These
What?
questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
Uh-huh.
No!
Now ascend to the
Screamed
heavens.
into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world.
The
At
bucket.
this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world.
Let's
They
go!
high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Yeah! Five. Is there a 1, 2, 3, 4? Oh, there is. Or at least there's a 1 and 2 and 5. Oh, that's blocked. Okay, the dark room is kind of hard to see. Wait, why do you guys have an easier screen viewing than I do? My monitor is really dark. Like, I can't see anything, but I look over at OBS and you guys can easily see the stairs there. To me, it's just a black screen. Oh, you cheating little fucks. Making me suffer.
When at last they came to the source,
I didn't think that would happen. I just kind of pushed a button.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
I thought it was over.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth.
Wait.
Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
Wait, I fell.
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to
No,
support.
I didn't fall.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face.
What?
This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming
Wait, why'd my
presence
no
of
get
the
cut
bucket.
off?
They needed the soothing warmth of the bucket.
No!
Not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place.
No.
Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket.
At least we have
To
the
be trapped
bucket.
eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself.
No, as long as we
I
have
have
bucket.
my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Find out what? They took my bucket.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it?
What?
Is this Stanley's office?
Wait. That was new? What? It's letting me go around the bucket this time. Input received. A bucket.
The good old bucket.
The good old
Just
bucket.
Stanley and the bucket. Off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
But I went through the door on the
Stanley
left.
had felt the bucket
I went
calling
backwards
him,
to trick
telling
you.
him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
We also
The
have
bucket
never gone
turned out
straight
to be correct.
with
Was
the
this
bucket.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nah.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Uh-oh. What the heck?
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect
Figlets.
the last one.
Figlies.
And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people.
Maybe I
by
can wait
then.
till the weekend and
Different
maybe
in
I
the
can,
sense
you know,
that we used
Figly
to
myself.
have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to
No,
when
that
you
was
had
bad.
no
I
Figler and
apologize.
Marines. None of
Figure
us
out is. Can I fall to my death? Yes, I can. Well, no time like the present.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Deeply You're not gonna say it.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
I mean, this is where you can cheat, right? I mean, I don't want to fall through this again because I know what happens. It makes you start over. Maybe we can do it with the bucket.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him. Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear.
We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self.
Yes,
The
Bucket?
bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed,
Yes, of course.
desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins.
Oh, where was I standing? Here? No, I was more here.
To dim. The opportunities to do so much more. There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
Uh-huh.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket.
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket!
Why is Stanley
This
a
is
witch?
so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
I'm glad I took that route. Ah! Reset.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Come here, Bucket.
A bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
Well, just like last time, I have no idea where those other 3 inputs are. Never was able to find those.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly
To the right.
his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
Nope.
Was this... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, I didn't.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride
Do we
the
still
lift
have
all
this?
the way to the top. There's
Or we have
something up
this?
there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It
I think
should
we're
have
gonna go
alarmed
this
him,
way to
of course,
start.
because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Can we open this door? I doubt it. Did I just hear something call me nerd? Maybe I'm projecting. Truest sign ever.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that
I
you
can't
actually
believe.
don't know what is a bucket?
Hold on. I'm sorry, narrator. I need to get this across. I can't believe this game is so well designed that your second play of it is a completely different game because of this bucket. That is flabbergasting to me.
And what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly.
Uh-huh.
So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
I don't wanna. Welcome to the game show. Is this a bucket?
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket.
What?
Not an actual bucket.
I was trolling.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
I get the feeling I know what the answers are. Let's say yes this time.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
The what? The I don't like being this right.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme. I'm starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you.
I'm
Thank
4
you
for
not
4.
making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
We're saying no for the rest of the game.
Is this a bucket? Incorrect. This is a bucket. Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both.
What?
Gotcha.
What? Also, I do
Item-
appreciate that
Wait,
it
hold
did
on, I
yellow
can't
light.
Find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here some.
Shush. Yellow light. Fun fact. The primary colors of light are red, green, and yellow, or red, green, and blue, excuse me. Where like paint, we normally think red, yellow, and blue. Yellow instead of green. Where red and yellow in paint make green, in light, red and green make yellow light. So the reason the both was yellow light is because you turn on the red and the green light at the same time.
Where?
Good attention to detail. It is a bucket, though.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here.
But it's
and
a bucket.
I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket. When
Yes.
We both clearly know that a bucket is something.
But
and
nothing is a
therefore
bucket.
Nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing?
No, a
That's
bucket
a
is something,
mistake,
but a nothing is a
You
bucket.
believe
That way, nothing is
a
something.
bucket?
No.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago, I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? And
Yeah.
why a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
What?
Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone?
Everything was a
Why did
bucket.
everything disappeared. Wait, was everything a bucket?
Yeah.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either.
Cool.
Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets.
Yeah, buck yeah!
I actually feel much more at ease right now.
Yeah,
It's still
bucket.
delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Okay.
Who knows what that information might do to a person?
Uh-huh.
Here we go.
All right, we're going to do one more reset, and then we're going to call it a day.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Come here, bucket.
Ah, the embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
And we go to the right.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
And we keep going
And here it
straight.
was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was it... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong.
I probably should have sat in there and
Stanley
listened.
took the door on his left
Nope.
to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting
We still need to
room.
find
Go
one
somewhere
more.
else. The cargo lift, yes.
Figley.
Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's
Okay.
something up there I need you to do.
Find a Figley.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
Well,
But
this one
Stanley chose
can.
not to think about this obvious fact.
That's like
He was
saying
firmly
animals
convinced
can't
that
talk.
The bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark
how
room
about here?
over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Dark room? No. I don't have an option anymore. Yep. Looks like we're going into the dark room.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the...
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone?
Because the bucket told
Were
me to
you
answer.
trying to resist the bucket's orders?
Yes.
Stanley, I was joking.
What?
Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things.
Did
Buckets can't talk. It was a joke.
Get-
Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking bucket.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if
Uh-oh.
you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for
Excuse me.
longer? Or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can
I don't
watch
think I've ever
before-
answered the
wait,
phone.
Yes, there is.
I should do that one of these times.
It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies?
Yeah,
and
what?
more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds? Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh,
Sorry, yawned.
in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, I'm Dunny with the funny. Let's practice screaming, I'm Dunny with the funny now.
I'm Dunny with the funny!
Good. This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy.
Thank you.
Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random.
That makes sense.
And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invaders who threaten our very existence and who very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it? Well, no matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then. So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
What? Oh. Okay. It's not gonna let me do the death dive.
This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy.
A knee
That's what you'll
slapper.
call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure.
The
bucket spoke to Stanley. The bucket spoke.
anyone else see that?
The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out.
The fact that I can make those
Let me
disappear?
overthink things.
Huh. Fascinating. Can I go this way now? No, I cannot. He's actually making me do a full reset.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already.
Apparently.
I don't know what's going on. There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this.
That's okay.
There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone. But now the timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was
I can't
meant
plug it
to.
back in.
And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room.
Yep,
What a
clearly your
egregious
fault.
Mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing.
Yep.
I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think...
Are these legs in shadow or are they in
I
light?
think I need to go back and rewatch that instructional
Wait,
video.
no. No.
Surely that will help me
No,
improve my-
no. Go back. No. Please, no.
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Okay.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley.
Wait.
I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going
now
to be
I get it.
every
This
one of our
hallway
meetings from
with
now
the
on.
ending
All
is what
because
happens if you go
couldn't
through the
watch a
left
simple
door.
video and take a hint. Are
Where
you
the other
proud
one
of
is when you
yourself
go through
for
this
putting me
door.
down, Stanley, are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you...
Hey!
It's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes.
Would you look at that? We got another ending. It's as if the game knows I was trying to end stream.
With shame over how unabashedly in love
Pale.
with the bucket you are. No? Do not... Is it
No, I
really
appreciate it. Good job.
Pale with shame.
Yeah.
Pale with shame.
Yeah, pale, like a bucket.
Pale. What's another word to describe a bucket?
Container.
Stanley, this bucket is so mental. I think I saw it playing guitar.
That one was forced.
No. Getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos.
Sorry, Leroy. All right, we got to quit the menu. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This has been really fun revisiting the Stanley Parable. We're going to consider that complete. There's a few more things we could explore, but I'm glad I revisited this. This was really fun. I really hope everybody who was able to tune in had a lot of fun watching. This is just one comedically fucked up game. So I hope everybody was able to enjoy watching as much as I enjoyed playing. I know I'm bad at these endings where I just like thank you for the same thing like 5 or 6 times before eventually closing out or forgetting to say things that I was supposed to say. But I just don't know how to end things. Like, I have a lot of fun streaming. It's really fun being here, being able to like present these games to everyone out there. I really appreciate it the times I do get to interact with chat. Otherwise, it's just enjoyable. So again, thank you. I stream because it's fun, but the real goal is to provide fun for you guys. So anyways, thank you so much. Please check in tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be streaming at 8 p.m. CST again. I will be playing Cursed Halo co-op campaign with a buddy of mine. It's going to be so fun. Cursed Halo is absolutely hilarious. If you've never played and you have the Master Chief Collection, please look up Cursed Halo again. It is probably the best mod to ever come to Halo. It's for Halo CE. The modder is currently working on Cursed Halo 2. And you know, whenever that comes out, like in the next year or two, I will stream that to death. Cursed Halo just got an update for the multiplayer, so please check that out. I think it'll be fun. If I can get enough friends in, I will consider like doing a stream of Cursed Halo multiplayer, because I think that would be very entertaining. But anyways, guys, if you want to see what the rest of the week is going to look like, I finally posted my first schedule. It is just text, but I was able to work on a graphic. So hopefully next week's schedule will be a little more visually appealing. So check it out. That's in the community section of my channel. It will explain what I'm doing for the rest of the week. But otherwise, I hope to see you guys all tomorrow for some Cursed Halo shenanigans and fun. Otherwise, just burped my way through that one. I wish I would have ended a few seconds sooner. Excuse me, apologies. As always, everybody, I hope you started today with a good eye, and I hope you end tonight with a good night. I will catch you all later. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.